I'll just die if I don't get this recipe.
Look, guys, hey, well, I told you. If you wouldn't just go on, that's right. Go over to my Saturday. Barbecue.
I'll just die if I don't get this recipe. I'll just die if I don't get this recipe.
Walter, take over, will you? Okay.
A scene there from The Stepford Wives, the original version. It's quite illustrative of how I see so many people around here, like I've said, about things like go back to your houses and prepare for the factories, the void of initiative that, like I said in another video, I have not come across anyone in 25 years who's used their own initiative or been given the time and space to use their own initiative. And that's sort of what I'm doing, and maybe that's sort of not permitted, or I don't know, but it just sort of, the titles of these videos have sort of come across, have sort of led to, for example, something that just came almost from the ether tonight. I've been watching Milton Friedman videos, talks. Don't agree with the guy much. I don't know. I don't really, not really. But he's really interesting in the way he puts things across. I don't know that much about what he says anyway, but it is interesting the way he debates. But during one of those talks tonight, he mentioned a book by Hayek called The Road to Serfdom. Never read it, but the title, even the title itself, all the things I've been saying about stuff like the Middle Ages and stuff like that, and how it contrasts with my approach, and how truly archaic, despite the air of being really modern and cutting edge, certain disciplines claim to be. No, that's just the way it is. Like in the film, as I mentioned before, the term archaic is actually in the film itself, The Stepford Wives. But yeah, they've tried to work the situation yet again, not least through decades old techniques of trying to make me worried about solitude. Well, I've essentially had that for quite a while, thank you very much. And it's something that I actually like. But like, they can characterise it as they pull all these stunts sort of thing, and we're the, with Johnny and Baby and all them, we are the saviours, and we can save from basically a construction that they've concocted themselves, sort of thing. Let's have the medium's message, the Barley Water Brigade, I say, will soon go past. They've gone past. The Barley Water Brigade. Yeah, like these connotations, and trying to tap into fears of isolation, which is essentially solitude, isn't it? Which is something I like. But again, these are it's amalgam years type stuff, and after trying to pull some yet more media effects. Let's put it that way. Again, they tried with these, effectively these serfs. There's no other way to really put it. These people who have no initiative whatsoever. They're not allowed to act on their own initiative, and I don't think they could now anyway. As they go around, ultimately with some recipe that they want or other, and going around like lobotomized, if you want, saying, I must have this recipe, stuff like that. It is actually, that's my perspective of what I see when I see them. That these people are just like, and it will take me time. This is the type of scenario they've built up over time through psychological and pharmacological techniques, social techniques, and so on and so forth. It will take me time. But considering the amount of progress I've made since the 10th, which again, I did, do I need to say it again? How they try to run around to work this stuff? Again, they've tried the same stunts with drug-ins and so on and so forth. It's sort of what would have happened if I'd have attended the meeting tomorrow. They would have drugged me up before, they would have drugged me up afterwards to try and think about it, sort of thing. Think about inconsequential things, about the type of type of stunts these people get up to. But ultimately, it is some form of road to serfdom, and today I recalled, I'm pretty sure of this, that the photographer was so hyped, and this is where the hype really initially came from. She was so hyped to take my photograph that she, I'm pretty sure about this, she grabbed someone else's camera. She really rushed to get someone else's camera, I think. Pretty sure about that. But ever since, in those 4 years, we saw people going on like that. And it's sort of how they try to build things up into that sort of situation. We'll almost certainly get a situation that they've tried to engineer tonight, in some ways, perhaps. Around detention, like I said, they've got to somehow try and make it look palatable that they're stuck, and I'm not. So like I said, since 10th, making great progress. But at any time, drug me up, give a certain impression, maybe, do all this that they're actually doing, and they set themselves up as the solution. But yeah, for those 4 years, it was a pattern of mine that, people are free to, if they want to go that way, and that's that, and it's like, it's done with, isn't it? You just practically get on with it, sort of thing. But like I said, they'll almost certainly continue these processes, and if I'm detained, they'll do the same processes. We all know this. I don't see the point, like I keep saying, but you do look around and you do see how this power works and how they try to frame it as care. And then when you do see these moments where, like with the guy outside the coffee shop shouting his head off, you do see these moments where it's sort of, well, there you go. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, you do see it for what it what it really is about, sort of thing. And it's just, that's the way it is. But yeah, the road to serfdom. Yeah, even watching videos about Nobel laureate, they try to interject these different things, and then when you don't pay any attention, they just dope you up to try and give the impression that they must do this, that, and whatever, like they tried doing on this morning. And it's just a never-ending process of them trying to approach me from this position where they're always doing that type of stuff. It never goes anywhere, but they still try it. And then, like I said, if you don't know that's the type of stunt they're going to try and pull when I'm detained, surely I'm going to be detained. Then come on. It's blatantly obvious, isn't it? But like I said, when I'm down there, I'll just say, chances are they may try to inject me. I'll still refuse to go down down the local psychiatric department. That's just the way it is. I've said my piece, and it's like they can run around and do what they bloody like. It's like that's it. It's like they're consumed with old stuff, and I'm not. But this is what I said in the last video. But yeah, so they crack out this stuff that I wouldn't pay any attention to. Why would I? Then they dope me up to try and get me thinking about stuff I wouldn't be thinking about, and then we have, this lot that I said ages ago, they tried to build up and so on and so forth. And it's just like if I shut the window there, they'll do it there, like on psychiatric wards and so on and so forth. Then set themselves up as as what you'd expect of the wider NHS. People who do a good job, not this lot. And again, that's something they could run around saying, "Well, look at that, we better bring him in." It's actually the way I see things. From my perspective, it's a pretty valid way of looking at things. But yeah, and it'll be the same tomorrow. People going around, they've sort of built this up. Like the medium is the message sort of thing. They seem to have got themselves into a position where they need to work something. I'm not interested, but it's their needs. Look up a summary of the road to serfdom. There's some interesting points in that that are made. Not everything, but one or two, few things that do. Amazing. It really is. It does amaze me. And all of a sudden, something will come almost from the ether that sort of characterises just what's going on with these processes and so on and so forth. But yeah, again, it's like they tried it this morning. It went nowhere. So what do? They try it again this evening. And it's just like, what the fuck? These people are off their fucking heads, which was the case that I clearly established the last time I left a psychiatric ward. That may well take place again if I go again on a psychiatric ward, which seems likely. But yeah, they initially started off with trying these little suggestions of to try and one of the old stunts to try to make me almost fear solitude. Why would I fear solitude? Why would I not embrace it? Like I said before, the drag is that they dope me up, so I can't, like I said, can't fully, enjoy it. So I can't fully embody it. That may well continue for the rest of my life. Don't know. But they do seem quite. They do seem like almost there serfs to the lords of the manor, to the high priests and priestesses, the architects, and what they kicked off. Be my guest, but just keep me out of it, sort of thing. I don't see any propaganda value in detaining me. I don't see any, even if there was such a thing that where psychiatry was a medical discipline, arguable, I'd argue against it. Then they could, they'll just make it up as they go along. This, like, judging from the type of stuff that's gone on since I left the psychiatric ward the last time. How many examples does there need to be? But it's good for me. It is good for me to see them pull these stunts time and time and time again. And since the 10th, it's done me the world of good, because each time they try to do it, and each time I get on top of it, it's another step in the right direction, sort of thing. But like I say, it will take time. Time I'm not going to be given. You know, that's important to remember. Time I am not going to be allowed to have to undo the shit that they did with trying to get me to a point where I would react to the environment around me in certain ways. Now I'm sort of really getting on top of that sort of thing. And, you know, in the way that I would do it. And, you know, it is starting to look like they're going to suppress that somehow. I don't know how. I don't know what degree of doping they're going to try and concoct to bring that about. It would, I don't know what it'd take. But you know, it's seems pretty bizarre to me. But in keeping with the mindsets of quite a few people that I came across years ago, and the archaic nature that really hasn't changed that much with psychiatry, sort of thing. The way they will characterise things, the way they, I've given examples recently. I don't really need to get all repetitive and so on and so forth like we get in dear sort of thing. But yeah, so again, on another day, they pull their stunts, they dope me up, don't go anywhere. Today it's been in the morning and now in the evening, as they try to build up the scenario around some theatrical fucking detention and all the rest of it. Well, that's the way it goes, isn't it? It's like, the road to serfdom is pretty much that everyone's at the behest, it seems to me, of the lords and ladies of the manor, our architects, our high priests and priestesses from the Middle Ages. And if this ain't the road to serfdom, if these people don't need to go back to their houses and prepare for the factories with their void of initiative, then you tell me what needs to take place.